Every day in the office, I receive employee data where first names and last names are stored in separate columns. Typing full names manually wastes time and often leads to mistakes. Today, I'll show you 3 professional ways to combine names automatically in Excel. Imagine you're working in the HR department of a company, and your manager emails you an employee database just before an important meeting. He says, "Please prepare the final employee list within the next 15 minutes." You open the Excel file expecting everything to be ready, but instead you discover that the first name and last name are stored in separate columns. There are hundreds, maybe even thousands of employee records, and manually typing every full name into a new column would take hours and could easily introduce spelling mistakes. This is a very common situation in offices where data is exported from payroll software, HR management systems, ERP applications, websites, online forms, or databases. Fortunately, Microsoft Excel provides several powerful methods to combine text automatically, saving time while ensuring accuracy. In today's tutorial, I'll show you 3 professional techniques used in real offices to combine names. We'll start with the simplest method using the ampersand operator, then move to the CONCAT function, and finally explore the powerful TEXTJOIN function. I'll also explain when each method should be used so that you can confidently choose the best solution for your own work. Let's begin with a simple employee list. In column A, we have the first name, and in column B, we have the last name. Our goal is to create a full name column without typing anything manually. Before writing any formula, let's think about the problem. Excel stores each cell separately. So if first name and last name are in different cells, we need a way to join those values together while placing a space between them. The first and easiest solution is the ampersand operator. In the full name column, type an equal sign, select the first name cell, type the ampersand symbol, add a space inside quotation marks, type another ampersand, and finally select the last name cell. Press Enter, and immediately the 2 values are combined into a professional-looking full name. Drag the fill handle downward, and Excel automatically creates complete names for every employee in the list. This method is simple, fast, and available in almost every version of Microsoft Excel. If your worksheet contains only a few columns to combine, the ampersand operator is an excellent choice because it is easy to understand and extremely quick to type. However, let's imagine that your company expands and now your employee database contains first name, middle name, last name, department, city, and employee code. Suddenly, using multiple ampersands becomes difficult because the formula grows longer and harder to read. While it still works perfectly, maintaining such formulas becomes more challenging, especially when someone else has to edit the workbook later. This is one reason why many professionals prefer dedicated text functions when working with larger data sets. Before moving to the next method, let me share a practical office example. Suppose you're preparing ID cards for new employees. The HR software exports first and last names separately, but the ID card printing software expects a single full name field. Instead of manually typing every name, one simple formula combines hundreds or even thousands of employee names within seconds. This not only saves valuable time, but also eliminates typing errors that often occur during repetitive work. The same technique is useful when preparing salary reports, attendance sheets, visitor registers, customer databases, sales reports, shipping labels, certificates, invoices, email recipient lists, and many other business documents. Now let's move to the second method, the CONCAT function. CONCAT was introduced as a modern replacement for older text combining functions and provides a cleaner, more structured way to join multiple values together. The result is exactly the same as the ampersand operator, but many Excel users find the formula easier to read because each value is clearly separated by commas inside the function. We type the CONCAT function, select the first name, insert a space inside quotation marks, select the last name, close the bracket, and press Enter. Once again, Excel instantly creates the complete employee name. If we drag the formula down, every record is completed automatically. At this stage, you may wonder whether CONCAT is actually better than the ampersand operator. The answer depends on your situation. If you're combining only 2 or 3 values, both methods perform equally well. However, When formulas become larger or need to be maintained by multiple team members, CONCAT often looks cleaner and is easier to understand. In many organizations, Excel workbooks are shared among different departments, and readable formulas help everyone understand how the worksheet works without spending extra time decoding complex expressions. Another advantage of using formulas instead of manual typing is that they remain dynamic. Imagine your manager corrects an employee's last name after you've already prepared the report. If you typed everything manually, you would need to update every affected record yourself. But when you use formulas, Excel updates the combined full name automatically as soon as the original data changes. This dynamic behavior reduces mistakes and ensures that reports remain accurate even when information changes at the last minute. That's one of the biggest reasons professional Excel users rely on formulas rather than manual editing. As we continue through this tutorial, you'll notice that each method has its own strengths. The ampersand operator is quick and universal. CONCAT offers better readability for larger formulas. And in the next section, I'll introduce the TEXTJOIN function, which takes text combination to an entirely new level by intelligently handling empty cells and making complex reports much easier to build. Once you understand how these methods work together, you'll never need to waste time manually combining names again, no matter how large your Excel worksheet becomes. Now that we've learned 3 different methods to combine names, an important question naturally comes to mind. Which one should you actually use in your daily office work? The answer depends on the type of Excel file you're working with. If you're using an older version of Microsoft Excel or simply need to combine 2 or 3 values quickly, the ampersand operator is still an excellent choice because it is simple, fast, and supported in almost every version of Excel. If you prefer formulas that are easier to read and maintain, especially when multiple people work on the same workbook, CONCAT is a cleaner option because every value is clearly separated inside the function. However, if you're using Microsoft 365 or Excel 2019 and later, my personal recommendation is the TEXTJOIN function because it is the most flexible and professional method. One of its biggest advantages is that it can automatically ignore empty cells. Imagine that your employee database contains a middle name column, but only some employees have a middle name. If you use traditional methods, you may end up with extra spaces between words, making the final report look untidy. TEXTJOIN handles this situation automatically by skipping blank cells while still keeping the correct spacing between the remaining values. This small feature can save a surprising amount of time when you're working with large datasets imported from HR software, payroll systems, CRM applications, online forms, or customer databases. To make the output even more professional, we can wrap our TEXTJOIN formula inside the proper function. This automatically converts names such as Shalu Verma or Shalu Verma into the correctly formatted version, Shalu Verma. This is especially useful when data has been entered by different users or imported from systems that don't follow consistent capitalization rules. Before you finish your report, remember one final professional step. The formulas you've created are still linked to the original cells. If you're sending the worksheet to another department, uploading it into another system, or sharing it with your manager, copy the completed names and use paste special followed by values. This converts the formulas into permanent text while keeping the final result exactly the same. It's a simple habit that prevents accidental formula changes and makes your reports more reliable. Small techniques like these may seem simple, but together they can save hours of manual work every week and greatly reduce typing errors in office reports. Whether you're working in HR, finance, administration, sales, customer support, logistics, or you're a student learning Microsoft Excel, mastering text functions such as the ampersand operator, CONCAT, TEXTJOIN, and proper will help you work faster and produce cleaner, more professional spreadsheets. I hope this practical tutorial has shown you not only how to combine names, but also how to choose the right method for different situations. Thank you for watching, and if you found this Excel tip useful, please like this video, share it with friends or colleagues who use Excel every day, and subscribe to Shalu Verma classes for more practical Microsoft Excel, Word, and PowerPoint tutorials designed to solve real office problems. Until the next tutorial, keep learning, keep practicing, and make Excel work for you instead of working harder in Excel. Many people think TEXTJOIN simply combines text like CONCAT, but its biggest advantage is the second argument, true. This tells Excel to ignore empty cells automatically. In our example, the middle name is blank. Both the ampersand operator and concat still include the spaces that we manually added, so the final name contains an unwanted extra space. TEXTJOIN skips the blank cell completely and returns a perfectly formatted full name. This is especially useful when working with HR records, customer databases, or imported files where some fields may be empty.